West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West Coast.
Wow, 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 wow. This is an epic start in the conference finals in the East and the West. This is the West Coast Mindset presented by the Recliner Media Network. And I got to break it down, guys. I'm coming to you right after the Knicks pulled off one of the most improbable comebacks you will ever see in playoff history in any sport. And this was either one of the greatest comebacks ever or one of the greatest choke jobs ever. I'll tell you which one it is in just a minute. And also, I'll talk about the game last night and that epic performance by that 7'5" monster that's looking to take over the league for years to come. And guys, remember to like, subscribe, rate, review, and give the show a comment. Tell us what you think, and I'll get to your questions, and I'd love to get some banter with you guys and really connect with my audience. That's what I want to do. That's my goal on this platform. I want to be able to connect with you guys and start a whole community here, and this is gonna be fun. So give me those comments, and we'll see if I can get back to you, and I'll answer any questions you guys have. And with that, I'll get to the biggest story right now, literally right after this happened. So the Knicks beat the Cavaliers 115-104, but it was a lot closer than that throughout the game because the Knicks were down 22 points in the fourth quarter, but they were able to come back after going on a 44 to an 11 run from the fourth quarter into overtime, and it was shocking. I could not believe it. The Cavaliers were dominating through three quarters. The crowd was out of it. I've never heard Madison Square Garden that quiet, and it looked like the air was taken out of the audience and out of the Knicks. The Knicks looked like they were dead. They were ready to take this L and move on to game two and regroup. But I don't know what happened with the Cavaliers, man. They were moving the ball all over the place. They were getting everybody involved, hitting threes, and doing a great job of just initiating their offense. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was. I don't know if the coaching staff told them to drain the clock. I don't know if they were getting too stagnant, playing too much one on one. That's what it looked like because the ball movement in that fourth quarter was not even close to what it was in that third quarter. And just overall, a very very sloppy way to give up that lead. And we saw with James Harden, he has those instances where in the playoffs where he can be great for one or two games, but then when it gets tight, he can get very stagnant, and that's what it looked like because they gave him the ball too much. He was over dribbling the ball, draining the clock way too much. The ball was not moving at all. There was no flow in the offense, and just overall, it was a very very bad look. And the Knicks were able to update their defense and were able to get all over them, pressure all the ball handlers, and the Cavaliers crumbled, man. And Donovan Mitchell was playing very very well, and and was doing everything that he could to lead them to that win. But then in the fourth quarter, I don't know what it was. They just stopped giving him the ball, stopped getting him initiated into the offense. It was more of a of Harden ISO and Sam Merrill shooting threes, and Donovan Mitchell was just not part of the offense. So I don't know what Kenny Atkinson was thinking, and the coaching staff was thinking, but you have to go home with your best player. You got to ride the wave with your best player and have him get you that victory, especially on the road in a hostile environment in New York. Like you have to go down swing with your best guy, doing all he can to get you that win. And I don't know what it was, but they just went away from Mitchell, and yeah, the offense paid for it because they were very stagnant. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen were very quiet in that fourth quarter as well. They were playing very well on the offensive glass and getting easy layups and dunks, and then they weren't involved. So overall, just a very big collapse by the Cavs offense on the court and on the sideline. The coaching staff did not make any adjustments. Kenny Atkinson allowed the wave of the Knicks to keep coming and would not call timeout until it was going down to like a 6 point lead for the Cavs, and then after that the momentum was just gone. the Cavs were just able. I mean, the Knicks were just able to keep riding that wave, and they were riding it all the way into overtime, and they took over once that happened because the Cavs were just out of gas, and you could tell they were just devastated that they gave up that lead when they should have coasted to the finish line, and they would have had a 1-0 lead on the road in New York, going back to Cleveland at least at 1-1, if not 2-0, with the confidence being up 0-1, 1-0 already in game one, and then you let it go like that. I just don't know how the Cavaliers can get up off the floor and try to get a win in game two because we saw that the Knicks were ready to call it quits. They were like, "Hey, man, we've been out for a week, like we just didn't have it today," and they were ready to just kick the dustpan away and go home and try to regroup and go all out for game two. But now they're super confident going into game two. Like they feel like they stole one at home, and they could just go and initiate their offense the way they were doing it down the stretch in that fourth quarter, and just continue to ride that wave into game two. And they're confident, man. They're feeling very good about themselves, and they could possibly go up 2-0 going into Cleveland. And yeah, this is a major choke job by the Cavaliers, man. If you're a Cleveland fan, I feel for you. I'm not a Cavs fan, but if I was, I would definitely have a tough time going to sleep tonight because that was awful execution, an awful way to lose, and where you had it, man, a 22-point fourth quarter lead. You just gotta um, initiate your offense, keep playing the same way. As I said, they just went out of their way to give it away, and that's what happened. And also a lot of 3-pointers missed. I get it. That's your offense. You want to spread the floor and shoot threes. But when you're up by 22 points, man, just drive the ball to the basket. I don't understand why you can't get fouled, get to the free throw line, get some easy buckets, and just keep pulling on that lead because the Knicks have to get stops to get back in the game. And when you're out there chucking a bunch of threes and drain the shot clock and playing a bunch of iso ball, kicking it out to guys late in the shot clock, and have to catch the ball late and then shoot it and with no hesitation and no confidence, it's gonna lead to you giving up that lead, and that's what happened. And yeah, that offensive execution for the Cavaliers in that fourth quarter going into overtime was absolutely terrible. And yeah, Cleveland fans, I feel for you. Now for the Knicks fans, that was very impressive, man. As I said, I did not think that they had a single shot to come back in this game, and the fact that they did was outstanding. As I said, a 44-11 run from the fourth quarter into overtime, the second largest comeback in NBA playoff history. Jalen Brunson scored 17 points in that span from the fourth quarter into overtime, and he was absolutely outstanding, Mr. Clutch, as he usually is known as in the New York Knicks jersey. And yeah, he was absolutely outstanding. He was a bit sluggish through the first three quarters. He put up some solid numbers, but it wasn't the typical Jalen Brunson that you see in the playoffs when he picks it up a level and he plays at his best. But when it was time for the Knicks to get back in the game and make that run, he was the guy. And he had 38 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists, and 17 points in that fourth quarter into overtime, as I said. And yeah, he was just getting to the lane with confidence, pulling up, hitting a bunch of big shots. And yeah, it was absolutely outstanding to watch. Mikal Bridges was also outstanding, 18 points, 2 for 4 from 3, playing great defense, getting all up in Harden's grill, and he was making it tough for him. Got a bunch of turnovers against him, and he was just very good. A pest on both ends, on offense and on defense, and he was doing all he can to be that Swiss Army knife and do everything. And he's playing very well. So I know that Stephen A. Smith and a lot of people have been tough on him because for all the picks they gave up to get him and all the assets they did to get him, he was very inconsistent and wasn't really living up to being the guy that they acquired for all those picks. But so far, man, in the last couple games in the playoffs, he has definitely been worth the price, and he definitely showed up in this game. OG Anunoby also came back in this game after tricking a hamstring against the 76ers a couple of days ago, and he looked pretty spry. Although his jump shot was a little rusty, which is expected because yeah, the guy hasn't played in over a week or 2 weeks, something like that. But yeah, jump shot was a little off. But the more reps he gets in live games, the more confidence in getting that jump shot. And before the injury, he was shooting the three at a great level, shooting with confidence. He was probably you can make a chance. He was arguably the Knicks' best player in the first two rounds of the playoffs before the injury. And now that he's back, you have more defensive versatility with him and 3-point shooting with athleticism. And Mikal Bridges beside him, a two-headed monster on the defensive end on the perimeter, getting all up in James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. And yeah, man, if you're a Knicks fan, you gotta love this. This is great. Karl Anthony Towns, if you look at the points wise, he really wasn't that great. 13 points, but they were 13 impactful points. He was getting on the boards, and he was getting battling with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and had a lot of rebounds, and he was just playing very well. And yeah, uh, I like the way that Mike Brown initiates him in the offense now. He's involved, being the playmaker as the big man, although he really didn't do that as much in this game. But before this game, throughout the whole playoffs, he was playing very well as a point center, and he's just more part of the offense. That was the issue with the Knicks all year. A lot of people were saying, "Where is Karl Anthony Towns? What is his role in this offense?" And he's definitely been a part of it. Mike Brown definitely made the adjustment, and you got to give him a lot of credit for that. And yeah, man, Cat is playing very well, and he was able to do the little things to help them come back and win this game. But yeah, it's a mix of everything. Jalen Brunson was outstanding, as I said. The Cavaliers choked us down, and yeah, it was just a lot of stuff that led to the second largest comeback in the history of the NBA playoffs. So outstanding game, and heading into the rest of the series, yeah, I think the Knicks are going to continue to ride this wave and go up 2-0. And with that, the Cavaliers have to be crushing themselves, and they got to regroup and play well at home. I think they'll be down 0-2, and they got to protect home court. And they've been great at home, so I'll give them credit. Although they had that bad loss against the Pistons last round at home in their last home game, but other than that, they played very well at home. And Donovan Mitchell has to be involved more throughout the entire game, not just the first 3 quarters. He has to be the guy and lead them through the whole game. James Harden cannot be the choker James Harden as we know he is able to be, and he has to play better. Get Donovan Mitchell involved. The two big men, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, have to pick it up. Evan Mobley has been playing a little better last couple games. He's been more aggressive, so that's a good sign if you're a Cavs fan. But he needs to be involved, and the defense needs to be better. And just overall, they just have to be together and just figure out how to complete a game. Because as I said many times, they had this game. You would think with a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter. Come on now, you gotta take that home. So this is gonna be a tough one, man. I just don't know how they can get out the floor from this, but I think they're gonna be down 0-2 going home, and yeah, it's gonna be tough. So Cleveland fans, hang in there. Knicks fans, be excited. I got the Knicks. I initially had the Knicks winning this in 6 games. So far, so good for me. But yeah, I think the Cavs lost a little bit of fight after blowing that, and I still think they have some fight, but it's gonna be real tough now because that's a tough pill to swallow. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, Donovan Mitchell, 29 points, not featuring enough in overtime. Cavs get him more involved throughout, and maybe the Cavs may have a chance to make this a series because if not, then this might be a quicker series than I expected. I hope not, As I said, I got the Knicks in 6, and hopefully it gets to 6. And this is a competitive series. We can only hope so, because that was an epic game. But there's a possibility that after that, the Knicks can possibly continue to ride that wave and dominate the rest of the series. I hope not. So we'll see how it goes. Come on, Cavs. All right, so going into the epic game last night, and the Spurs went into OKC as a big underdog in this series to win the series, and they go in there and get a victory and double overtime, 122-115 the final. Victor Wembanyama was absolutely dominant like Shaq. This was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen from a big man. 41 points, 24 rebounds, and 3 blocks. And he was just everywhere, whether it was on defense, whether it was on offense. He was just fantastic. I don't know what else I can say. He was giving it to them in the paint, outside of the paint. Hit a crazy 3-pointer where it looked like a mirror image of Steph Curry. Remember in that game against the Thunder a couple years ago, back in 2015, 2016, I believe, where he shot it from pretty much the logo on the right side of the court, and he pulled up and hit it with confidence. And Wemby did literally the same thing with the Thunder down, with the Spurs down 3 in the final minute of the fourth quarter, pulls up right with confidence, swishes it, and I just could not believe it. For a guy that size, at 7'5", with that kind of handle and that kind of skill level to do that, it's just unreal. And like, that's something that you try to build in 2K to be a great player. Like, he's literally that kind of build. He is absolutely amazing, and for him to do that and then to dominate inside, when Alex Caruso and Jalen Williams was guarding him, he said, "Hey, pass me the rock, bro. I'm gonna take over. Give me the ball in the paint." And he did just that. So he dominated inside, outside, on the defensive end, on the glass, defense and offensive glass, and just overall, man, he controlled the entire game, and it was just an absolute amazing performance. And I gotta say, I bet you a lot of teams, a lot of opposing players are around the league were shaking their boots watching that, because they were saying, "Uh oh, we are in major trouble for years to come, because this guy looks like the real deal, and he looks like he's going to be the face of the league for years to come, and possibly be a monster, winning championships and dominating the league for years to come." So look out, people. Wemby is coming. He wants it. He wants to be great. He's out there working his ass off, whether he's working with Jamal Crawford, whether he's working with Hakeem Olajuwon, whether he's working with Tim Duncan. The dude wants it. He knows he's great. He knows he has the potential to be one of the greatest players to ever play. And he's out there doing it. He's got the mentality. He's super competitive. He doesn't want to be friends with nobody. And he's showing it, man. Credit to the kid from France. He's doing it. He's got a major rivalry with Chet Holmgren going back to high school, where he played, where France and USA played in the under 18 league, and he fouled out of that game, and USA went on to win that game, and they gave the MVP of the game to Chet, when overall Wemby was a better player in that game, but he fouled out and his team lost, obviously, and he's never forgotten about it. And ever since him and Chet got into the NBA, Wemby goes after him, and he gets the best out of Chet. He gets the best out of himself playing against Chet, and yeah, man, he completely ragdolled him. Chet Holmgren cannot do anything against him, whether it was on defense or offense. And yeah, man, Wemby is gonna be an all-time great, man. I know I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but I saw this with LeBron back in the day. I saw this with Kobe back in the day. You just knew when you had that big moment in the playoffs, and you had that signature moment that said, "Hey, I'm here." That was last night, and Wemby is ready to continue to build off that. He's not satisfied, man. He wants more. He wants that championship. He wants that Finals MVP. And another thing, uh, and maybe a big error by the OKC organization having SGA, who won the second straight MVP, go out there and be presented the trophy and show off the trophy to the fans before the game even started. Because I know Wemby was out there sitting on that sideline, and he was saying, "Hey, bro, that's my award. You stole that from me. I deserve this award. I'm the best player in this league. I was the best player this season." And he showed it, man. Because yeah, as soon as the game started, he said, "Yo, give me the ball. I'm gonna show all y'all who the best player on the court is." And he definitely was that, and he dominated the game. And just overall, a great performance by Wemby. So credit to him, man. And his teammates also showed up. First of all, De'Aaron Fox was not able to play due to an ankle injury, and it looked like that was going to be a big loss going into this game because he's the veteran of this team and he's the captain of this offense, and he makes everything flow. But his replacement in the lineup, the rookie Dylan Harper, man, he went in there and not only filled in, but filled in probably better than De'Aaron Fox probably would ever play. Being the starting point guard, he came in and did everything he could. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 steals. Like this kid is special, man. Like if they didn't have Wemby, this kid would be the face of the franchise. Honestly, like that tells you how loaded the Spurs are with young talent. They have an abundance of riches. Whether it's Wemby, whether it's Dylan Harper, whether it's Stephon Castle, they just have so much great young talent, and man, they have something for years to come, and they could possibly win a couple of championships with this roster. They've done a outstanding job of building this young talent over the years. Obviously, with Wembanyama being the centerpiece of it, and yeah, man, Dylan Harper is only going to get better. He's a big guard, physical. His jump shot's getting better and better. He's only gotten more confident in these playoffs, and yeah, he looks like the real deal, and he definitely showed up last night. Stephon Castle played very well as well. 17 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds. But the one bugaboo about him, 11 turnovers. You got to be better, man. Take care of that basketball. But the funny thing is that I get it, 11 turnovers is bad, and when that happens, it's very noticeable. But in this game, it really wasn't that noticeable. Like I really didn't notice it until Mike Tirico said late in the game, "Oh yeah, and also Stephon Castle has 11 turnovers, not good." And I was like, "Really? That many turnovers?" Like I did not think he had that many turnovers going into up to that point. But yeah, you gotta take better care of the basketball, and he will do that because yeah, I bet you Mitch Johnson probably got on him in practice and said, "Hey, you gotta take care of that basketball, man, because in the playoffs, every possession matters. So you gotta take care of the basketball and keep it with you, and to not give up any turnovers, and to not give the other team a chance to get momentum and get out there and transition and get confidence." So I'm pretty sure Castle will do a better job of taking care of the ball going into game 2. Well, yeah, overall great performance. Everybody did their part, especially Wemby being the centerpiece of that. And yeah, man, the Spurs are for real, man. They're a lot of people were saying they're ahead of schedule, and they are ahead of schedule. But after what we saw last night, they're not only trying to show people that they're here, they're trying to show people that they can win it all. And after seeing last night, there definitely is a chance that the Spurs could win the championship this year, and they could beat the reigning champs this year as well. And yeah, this is going to be a hell of a series. So great performance by the Spurs. Now for the Thunder. This is kind of troubling if you're a Thunder fan. I get it. It's just one game. It's game 1. You've been off for over a week because you swept the Lakers. Rest in peace to the Lakers, by the way. Still can't believe that that things ended like that, but that's a story from another day. but yeah, the Thunder have been off for over a week, and yeah, they looked a little sluggish in the beginning, going down 7-0 to the Spurs, and they were able to make it competitive, and they were in the game throughout. But the Spurs just kept coming, kept coming. Like when the Thunder made a run, the Spurs bounced right back. When the Thunder thought they had the momentum, once they took the lead late, the Spurs came right back and were not intimidated. And that's a bad sign if you're a Thunder fan, because a lot of people were thinking that the Thunder were gonna go in there with their championship moxie and show these young kids, inexperienced kids in San Antonio, what the business is in terms of playing in very high intensity basketball in the playoffs. But yeah, the Spurs, they're not scared, man. They're ready to fight back. They got the perimeter defenders to go out there and disrupt these guys, whether it's Stephon Castle, whether it's Dylan Harper, whether it's Wemby, obviously being the anchor of the defense in the back end. They have the guys that can go at SGA. They got the guys that can go at Jalen Williams. They got the guys that can go at Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren and all those guys. They have the young athletic wings and forwards that can put havoc on the Thunder offense. And we saw that because the Thunder offense looked as like the most stagnant I've seen their offense been in a long time. Going back into the finals last year, where there was times where the Pacers figured out their offense and their defense was able to dominate them a little bit. Unfortunately, obviously, Tyrese Halliburton went down in Game 7, but there was a big chance that the Pacers could have won that series, because if Tyrese didn't go down, the Pacers had a good chance to win that game and win the championship. But obviously, the Thunder went on to win, and I'll give them a lot of credit for that, and they did it, so good for them. But going back to this series, for the Spurs, as I said, they got the guys that can go out there and defend the Thunder offense, and did a great job. And they were doubling SGA the entire game, and he looked rattled, man. SGA, 24 points, 7 for 23 from the field, 12 assists. You got to give him that. He was giving the ball up, and he was getting his teammates involved. But in terms of him getting his offense going, it was very, very, very iffy for him. He was able to get going a bit late and was able to tie the game and get the game into overtime. But he wasn't that typical dominant SGA where he's just out there getting in his spots, getting that mid range, beating guys off the dribble. They were staying in front of him and they were making him work, and he looked very, very shaky. And going into the Lakers series, last series for them, I get it. The Thunder won the sweep, and I'll give him major credit for that. But SGA had some trouble against the double team, and JJ Redick figured something out against them and really made it tough for him to score his points in that series. It was a lot of the other guys like AJ Mitchell and Caruso and Chet Holmgren, those guys really doing the heavy lifting in his place for the Thunder to get that sweep. But going against the Spurs with the weapons they have, if SGA cannot go in there and dominate, it's going to be really, really tough for all the rest of these guys to contribute and do what they can to help the Thunder get wins here. Because, as I said, the Spurs are not scared. They got the guy, the future face of the league, and Wemby that can completely dominate the game. So yeah, SGA has to come in to game 2 aggressive. I get it. He has that very smooth, chill kind of personality, like go with the flow. Hey man, we lost that game. I'll be fine. I'm gonna get my 30 points next game. We'll be okay. No, bro, you got to go into that game with the mentality to kill, because if he doesn't, then he can possibly have another tough game against his defense. And believe it or not, the Thunder can be down 0-2 in the series, going back to San Antonio for Game 3, and that'll be very, very tough. So this is a bit of a legacy game for SGA. I get it; he's been the best player in the league the last 2 years. Although you can argue it's Wemby now with the way that he's been playing, but yeah, this is a big game for SGA. He has to go out there aggressive. He's got to lead his team. You're at home with that crowd behind you. He needs to go out there and dominate and do his thing. So SGA, if you're watching this, bro, you got to show up and win this game. This is probably a must-win game for the Thunder, because if they don't win this game, I don't like their chances tying the series up on the road in San Antonio, because that's going to be a hostile environment over there, man. Those fans have been waiting a long time for a conference finals and just getting into the playoffs in general. And we've seen these whole playoffs going into this series. That crowd has been absolutely electric, and I can only imagine how electric they're going to be going back to San Antonio for Game 3 in the conference finals. So, man, yeah, that crowd's going to be hella lit. So SGA has to get the job done in Game 2 and help his team gain momentum going into San Antonio. So they're in a bit of trouble here. Jalen Williams came back coming off of his hamstring injury, and he was pretty solid. His jump shot was a little shaky in the beginning. Was able to get going later in the game and hit a couple of shots, but good for him to come back. So that's a good sign if you're a Thunder fan, that he was able to play pretty well, and he'll have more confidence going into Game 2. But the real story for the Thunder, the main guy that was able to really contribute for them, believe it or not, was Alex Caruso. 31 points and 8 3-pointers. By far the biggest game of his career, although in a losing effort. But hey, he got his open shots. He was on Wemby, and Wemby was on him on defense. So Wemby is going to be mostly in the paint, patrolling the paint. So Alex Caruso was wide open at the 3-point line, and when he had his shots wide open, he was hitting them. So credit to him, and he's confident going into the next game. So you would think that Mark Dagnall is going to get him involved more in the offense and give him more minutes and have him continue to hit threes when he's open, because that's what you got to do if you're a role player. If you're wide open and you're open from 3, you got to hit those 3-pointers. And for Caruso, credit to him, he did that. But the thing is, I don't know if you can keep putting Caruso on Wemby, because we saw that there was a couple of times where I was like, yo, like, how is Caruso defending Wemby on the block? Like, this is crazy. But Wemby was out there just staying on the perimeter. But then when it was go time, Wemby said, yo, give me that rock. And he was just bodying up Caruso, getting into the post. They fed him, and he shot it right over the top. And it was just easy money for him in the fourth quarter and overtime. And that was all she wrote. So Mark Dagnall has to figure out a way to get his defense out there to shut down Wemby, because whether it was Caruso, whether it was Jalen Williams, whether it was Chet Holmgren, and that's the guy I think has to be the guy to step up and is the only guy that can defend really enough against Wemby, because Hartenstein, he was played off the floor in this game, and he may not get a lot of minutes the rest of the series because he's a big body, but I don't think he's fast enough to contain Wemby, and Wemby can go right by him, and he's just way too skilled for him. But Chet Holmgren is 7'1", dude. You're 7'1". I get it. You're super brittle. You're skinny as hell, and your body has not gained any muscle ever since you came into the league. And Wemby has gotten a lot stronger, and he's going all up in you. So if you have some pride, man, Chet, you gotta take the challenge, and you gotta step up, and you gotta be a lot better defensively against Wemby and offensively, because there was moments where Wemby punked him on the defensive end as well. So yeah, Thunder fans, you gotta be all over Chet and hope that he shows up in Game 2 and continues to show up the rest of the series, because if not, Wemby is gonna have his way with them, and it's gonna be a really, really tough task for the Thunder defense to shut him down, because, as I said, other than him, they really have no answer for anybody defending him. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what Mark Dagnall and the Thunder coaching staff and game plan does against Wemby going into Game 2. And yeah, just overall, great performance. Originally, my pick is Spurs in 7. I'm still going to stick with that. But if the Thunder come off flat in Game 2, the series can end a little quicker than what I thought. And the Spurs are for real. And yeah, Spurs fans, be excited. Thunder fans, still be excited. It's not over yet. You guys are still a very, very good team. And you're still the best team in the league. First place in the Western Conference and the league. the last 2 years, and you won the championship last year. So hey, don't panic. Don't panic. You're still the reigning champions. You still got the two-time MVP. You're still a great defensive team. Although matchup wise, as I said, not great against Wemby. But hey, Mark Daniels a good coach. They'll figure it out. They'll figure something out. This should be a really good series. And after we saw in this game, one of the greatest games I've ever seen, an epic double overtime victory for the Spurs on the road. Buckle your seatbelts, guys, because this is going to be an epic series, and it could go 7, it could go 6, but either way, it's going to be a very good back and forth nip and tuck series, and I'm excited to watch the rest of it, guys. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the conference finals. It's been great to watch. Spurs lead 1-0, Knicks lead 1-0 after an amazing comeback. And both series should be great. So keep an eye on those series, guys. Be invested. As I said, leave comments, get into the chat, start a community here, and I'm enjoying it just as much as you guys. So we'll see how it goes. Leave the comments, guys, and I'll get back to you. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the conference finals. This is the West Coast Mindset, presented by the Recliner Media Network. And I will see you guys next week.
This the West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West.